Hey guys, welcome to the last video in the series. I just want to thank you all for watching it this far, if any of you made it this far. And yeah, we're just going to be showing you how to export the project and make it like an executable or like a jar file, so you can just double click it and play Uno whenever you want. But the first thing we're going to do is make the final class for this project. So first you're going to right click this and then go to new and then go to JFrame form. And then you're going to do pick color frame, and then we're just going to design this, so you just go 500 should be fine, and then the width, and then this, make this like 4, also make that 500. Just preview it. It's going to be different on your screen depending on your resolution, but that looks good to me. And then we're going to put a J label on this, and then change the size of this to 24. Actually, we're going to do 36. Edit text, pick the color of your wild card, and you're just gonna move that over. Okay, we are gonna have to make this 24. And just, yeah. So then the next thing you want to do is add 4 buttons. So one right here, another one right here. Just make sure those are lined up. And one right here, and right here. And then first button, we're gonna make this the red button. Second button, we'll make this blue. Third button, we'll make this green. And the last button, we're going to make yellow. So then we're going to change the size of this. So we're just going to make this a little bit bigger. So we'll do 120. We'll push these down. Let's get out the way for now. Do 55. Alright, now just make sure the width and the height are consistent. I don't even know how that happened. $55. Alright, and then same thing here. This down. And then we'll just do same thing. 55. I don't know, I just want the green to be here, so I'm just going to move that. I don't know why this is happening. Okay. So that's good, and then we're just going to change the size of these just to make it look better. So, okay, 18 hopefully works fine. Yeah, 18 is good. $18. Alright, so I'm going to preview this, and okay, the buttons look more centered than the text, so save that, Yeah, that looks better. So now when someone clicks this, they're going to be able to like decide which color they want when they pick their wild card. So for that, as far as the design, like you can change the font of the text or the buttons and really line things up, but that's really all we need for that. So now we're going to actually go to code it. So first thing we're going to do is create a private Uno card color, wild color, set this to null, and then we're going to say boolean allow equals false. We're going to say pop up. So now we're going to go to our constructor, and we're going to, okay, we need two constructors. So pick color frame, pop up, components, and this one's just going to say pop equals pop. So now we're going to make our method, and we're going to call this choose colors. So we'll say it's going to return an Uno card color. So Uno card.colors or returning choose color Uno card. So we're taking in. Say if card.getColor equals a wild card color. Then this dot set visible true. This dot set resizable false. And we're going to say set the bounds. Say 100, 150, 600, 700. We have to tweak that around, but that should work fine. And then turn card.getColor. So that is good for that method. So I noticed in the GameStage class I actually had errors. So make sure that you spell resizable right, so you fix these errors, because we had to write it a whole bunch of times and apparently I wrote it wrong. So I'm just going to fix that, but just make sure that any small errors, like things are incorrectly spelled or anything like that, just make sure you go fix that before we actually finish the series, because we're on the last video now. So now the last thing that we're going to do as far as this class is just writing the functionality of these buttons, and they're all essentially the same thing with pretty much two differences. So once you write one of these, we can just copy and paste it. So, and also we're going to rename these buttons really quick so we don't get these confused. So we're going to call this one red button. We're going to call this one blue button. Green. And then this one yellow. So now double click this, and now we're going to write what this does. So we're going to say wild color equals Uno card.color.red. And then we're going to write a JLabel message. Say the wild card color is red. I set the font like usual. Arial. .48. And we're going to show it with J option pane. Show message dialog. Import the J label. Import the J option pane. And there's an error because that should be dot. And then only one of that. Alright, cool. So now you're going to say allow equals true. This dot dispose. You say pop up dot declared color equals Uno card dot color dot red. Pop up dot game stage. Set PID name. Pop up dot game dot get current player. Same thing for this. GameStage dot set button icons. Top card button. Set the icon. All this junk. Resource. You say Uno, or no. Images. PNGs. Small. Pop up game.get top card image. Alright, we gotta make sure this is all correctly written. Swing. Then move that down. Okay, we can't do that. Almost there. So then you have to write pop up game, set the card color to red. And then dispose of the pop-up. And pretty much you can just copy and paste this, and then every time it's red, you just change it to blue. So go to design, copy and paste that, change this to blue, change this to blue, this becomes blue now. And then this becomes blue. Go here. And then you do the same thing for green too. This is going to get changed to green. This will be green as well. And this line. Copy and paste same thing, and then last line right here, yellow, same drill. Save that. And now we're going to make the main class, which is the actual last class that we're doing. But it's really quick. Main. All we do is here is public static void main string args throws exception, and then we're gonna do new menu dot set visible true, and then that is this first class with the frames that we created that lets you play the Uno. Go over here. So before we finish, there's a couple things we need to do. So go back to your menu and double click your exit button and make sure that this says system.exit. And then this text field should not do that. So I think I got those two mixed up. So that should just be empty. Next, go to your add player names and make sure that in your design, your labels are like evenly spaced and also like have room to display the name. So like make sure these are like decently sized. And make sure that the width is good. So yeah, same thing for here. Because if they're not, it's just going to say like the first couple letters and then it's just going to say like dot 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 or something. So just make sure these have like a good amount of length and a good amount of width. Same thing with this. Let's put that up. That should be good. Yeah, and then like line them up. That's going to make it look better. Should be like that. Stretch that out. And that should make it look a lot better. Also, the next thing you're going to have to do is make sure you go to your game class and change this to an underscore, because before it was like this, it was like a hyphen. It needs to be like that, like an underscore. And then the next thing you want to do is go to your GameStage and then go to your design and then select this button, which is your down card. Set your icon from your package, find the file, PNGs, small, and then it should be card back.png. Select OK. There we go. And then for this button, just make sure it's a decent size and then it should match this button. So it may be good just to get rid of the text on these buttons, so just get rid of that. So before we finish this, there's a few errors that I'm glad that came up. So the first time that I created this, I was using a different version of this NetBeans IDE. Is using like 8.0.2. Now I'm using 11.1, and one error that popped up was like a null pointer exception. So pretty much what was happening, it was saying that the image that I was using wasn't there. So when you try to run this, you may get a null pointer. So to fix that, there's a couple things you need to do. So go to your GameStage class, and then every place that had like new image icon, and then it said like I told you to write doc class doc get resource, just delete that and just have just this instead. And then instead of using a package that's directly inside of your folder, so the images that we use, so NetBeans, in here, instead of using images, just literally just copy like that and then paste it onto your desktop. So you can just paste it and then use that folder instead. So I called it sprites. I changed the name of it to sprites. So it should still have the large and the small, and make sure that they're named appropriately. But yeah, once you do that, you can go to your design, and then on your card, select it, and then go to icon, and then this is go to external image, and then select it, and then you're gonna go to your desktop, go to sprites or images, same thing, and then go to small, and then cardback.png. Hit OK, and then that sets that image for you. So yeah, that's what it should look like. And then this right here is what is going to be like the first card that you need to match. So when you go to your source code, if you scroll in your generated code, when you set the icon, it's going to say like the actual direct path on your computer. So like what this is going to do essentially, because if it works like the original way with the get class get resource, then you're all good to go. But using it this way is going to make it so the Uno game's only going to work directly on your computer. So you'd have to change like the path for this. So if you can figure out a way to do it so that you can put in the folder, then you can use it on any computer. But pretty much what's going to happen is that since you're using like a complete path, like a direct path, it's only going to work on your computer. So yeah, so just use this instead, like your direct path. So it's going to be different, but just put it on your desktop, and that's how you're going to approach adding the image icons to the rest of these. So set your top card button and do the same thing. So instead of having the .get class .get resource, just use the direct path, and then same thing, get top card image. Right here, instead of the get class got resource, you're gonna use the direct path and do that same thing. So yeah, just this first part is changing for wherever you put it on your computer, and then you're just gonna look through your code, and anywhere that we put anywhere that we use like an image, that's where you need to change it. So go to your source code. For your pop-up class, we also used it in here. In the constructor, we did card label set icon, so change that. Used it in here, so change that as well. So pretty much just the path is changing, and put it like on the desktop or like in a documents folder, because for some reason it wasn't working inside of the package. And then the last place that we used it, I believe, is the pick color frame. So yeah, you're going to change that. That for the red button, the blue button, same thing. So yeah, so this is what it was before. So this is what it should be like a direct path on your computer. This is how we had it before. And this was like the local path. So this was like inside of your folder. So we're just going to change that. So yeah, this is what you're going to have to do. So just copy and paste that. And then that's going to fix that. So that's what it should be for the blue, the green, and the yellow button. So once you fix that, that should take care of like any of the null pointers you're getting for your image icons. Just make sure that you have the path correctly written, because that was being such a big problem. Like for some reason, like I was pretty much writing the same thing I was writing the first time I made this Uno game for this tutorial, and it wasn't working. And it's just because I don't know if get class get resource isn't supported in this version of NetBeans, but it wasn't working for me. So I just had to use a direct path and move the files onto my desktop and then use it that way. But that should fix those errors. The last couple things I'd say if you have any problems is in your design for your game stage, if like your cards are looking weird, like they're really like they're, some of these are like really long and some of these are like short, make sure that the width and the height for all your cards are the same, and make sure that the distance between your cards are the same, and that should fix those problems. Because I was having those problems, and what I did was just I made this height 115 and then the width 75 for all of my cards. I believe it was 75, but I know the height is 115. So pretty much that fixed my problems, and I made sure that the distance between each of the cards was the same, and then that fixed my problems with that. For your pop-up class in your design, make sure that the location of your J-frame is set to like a good location. So for me, I have it at 200 and 500, and that's going to make it so this doesn't pop up in like a completely random spot. I set the preferred size to 450 by 450 for the J-frame, and I also set that as the same thing for the preferred size for the J panel, and then I set the horizontal size to 450. It says default, but I set to 450, and I'll set the vertical size to 450. And then for your pick color frame design, I would just make sure that same thing, make sure the location is set in a good spot. Do 200 and 500 as well. And then make sure the preferred size is good. Don't set this to resizable. So click that off, and then you should be good there. And then now when you go to run it, so your main class is going to be where you're running it from. So you run your Uno project. If it asks you which class you'd like to run it from the main class. And then this is how it should look. So the exit button just exits the program, and then run it again. And then you hit play. You put in the names of your players. And then put this full screen, and then pretty much you can select your cards. So this 8 matches, so we can use this card because the value matches. Use the card. Now this gets updated to the yellow 8 we just played, and then same thing, this matches, so we can use that. And now we don't have any cards we can use. We can draw a card if we want, and then over here we can use a wild card, pick the color. Okay, so we need to fix where that pops up at, but if you do blue, the wall color is blue, and then you can't use this card because expected color blue but got color red. So once you finish the tutorial, this is what it should look like. This is a green 3, so we can play red 3. Color matches. This one, the value matches, so we can play this card. Skip card, use that. And then let's try a different set of things. So try a wild card, use card. If anything appears weird, just like, it's gonna depend on your machine, but pretty much like, yeah. But these should work though. So I'm gonna use a blue, and that's gonna, none of these values matches, so they're gonna have to use a different type of card. Pretty much, yeah. That's what you get once you finish the tutorial. Like anything with like design wise, literally you just have to tweak for your personal machine, depending on the resolution and things like that. But that's what it should be like. So now we're gonna turn this. So once you finally like tweak everything to exactly how you like it for your machine, and you want to like have it just so like you don't have to go into NetBeans to use it, this is how you're gonna export it. To turn this into an executable jar file, all you have to do is go here, select this, do clean and build, and then once that is done, you can go to your folder, your Uno project, the target folder, and then you can run this file. So that's going to conclude this series. Thank you so much for watching. It's been great. This has been like my first few videos on YouTube, so I appreciate everyone who watched this far. I never thought this many people would want to watch an Uno tutorial on YouTube. I think at this point I have over 2,000 views on this series. So thanks for all the support, and I'm going to be continuing doing more videos, but this is the last video of this series, so thanks again for watching, and it's been great. Alright, see you in the next one.